Alright? Battle of the Sexes was a film. It came from a film from the early 19th century by a filmmaker who also made an extremely racist film called Birth of a Nation. And then later, because there was so many cries of the racism of the film, and this is like 1915, 1912, something between 1906 and 1915. And then he made a film called Tolerance, about how intolerance was the cause of all these terrible things throughout history, to kind of, make up for it. And now look at today. Everyone's using the term intolerance. And the same people who use that kind of term and act like they're feminists in public, when you talk to them alone, they think women are stupid, and they're kind of racist. See, it's the same thing. It's the same. See, the beginning of a century seeds that century. Okay, and the people who are they're using the exact same fucking terminology this asshole had in his films. It's a divide and conquer. And now why would you call a film Birth of a Nation in the early 20th century? 1776 was the birth of the nation. 1783. Why then would you do that? Because it's trying to change the nation into another nation, obviously. It's those same concepts that are ruining everything today. Birth of a Nation. Racism. Divide and conquer of what was getting a little better. Not much at that time, but it was getting a little better. And then Battle of the Sexes, to divide and conquer men and women. So start seeing each other as enemies. Of course, I don't know many men that really bought into that, except guys who are like to use women and manipulate them. I don't really love them that much. Seems like almost every woman has. Back in the 1500s, one of the main philosophical arguments was whether or not it was a shame or a dishonor for a woman to marry a man with more money than her. What is that? It's the exact opposite today. Now, what does that imply? It implies that A, women on average made about as much money or more money than guys. And it also implies that they had a lot of respect and self-respect. It's a dishonor to marry a man with more money. Like you're marrying for the money. It's considered a dishonor. Was it considered? That was a philosophical argument between a troubadour and a philosopher. Famous troubadour. Now, back in those days, there were actual queens, actual empresses, actual duchesses, actual countesses, ladies. They had extreme amounts of power. And of course there was a class division, yes. But things go downhill. If women are given power in the government, they're given power also in everyday life and respect. Which nowadays they're not much. And all their, all the feminism is just standing up for queers, basically. And then, they're like, okay, well, they're calling them queens, so they're going to call us gods. That's actually helping us out. But no, they're taking that too. See? And that's idolatrous anyway. So, they ain't helping you. Just stop playing around.